Dear sweet, sweet R9T, we've been everywhere from the drag strip to the track. You've been reliable, fun, and easy on the eyes. Hell, I'm not even a BMW dad, but we still fell in love. Times are changing, and it's time to say goodbye.
What's up, hot butter lug nuts? I'm here on my last maiden voyage with my 2018 BMW R9T. I'm sad. I'm real sad. I'll explain to you why. But first, shameless self-promotion. I hate doing it, but here I am. As you may know, I have my own Discord, and every week I go live, 2 days a week. I go live for my podcast, The Megan and Whitney Show. Check out the links below if you want to listen to me get absolutely fucking weird. And then I also go live either solo or with my husband, Lucas. And we talk about cars, motorcycles, how much reality sucks, all sorts of fun stuff. You can join for as little as $3 a month. So head over to my Patreon and sign up over there. I'm also working on some really fun merch, working on more interesting Patreon tiers, but enough squeebing and squabbing. There, shameless self-promotion is done. Let's hop on a small little neighborhood ride before I have to do 1 billion errands. Oh, I'm kind of sad. It's so pretty. And that's why it's got to go. I'm not kidding, that is kind of why it has to go. There was just a Jeep Trackhawk using that as a drag strip right before I started rolling. Oh, I was like, can I come? So Whitney, why the hell are you selling this beautiful, sexy bike that you have, oh yeah, PSA. If you want every bang for your buck when you resell your bike, do not customize it. Don't throw a bunch of pretty parts on there. You think that you're adding value, but you're actually not. You're personalizing it. And when you personalize something, the odds of trying to get somebody else who had the exact same taste as you did is gonna be quite hard. I have kept this R9T bone fucking stock, and every single person that's come out to take a look at it has thanked me for it. So know that, keep your bike stock. You won't regret it. Unless you got a forever bike. But don't sit and bitch about how much money you spent on anodized metal parts. Or, I thought that guy was gonna run right into me. Or an exhaust or whatever. You're not gonna get that money back. Don't be dumb. Or personalize the shit out of your bike, but know that it's just not gonna be worth as much. It's your bike. You do what you want. I'm just here to try to help you. I have a confession. I got bit by the dirt bike bug, really, really bad. I want a motocross bike. I want a YZ250F or whatever the fuck the fuel injected one is. I want to live dirt life. I want to go ride trails. I have so much fun doing it. I love getting shit from the dirt bike instructors who are like, God, I can't believe you go on the highway. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, you ride on the highway? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's America. It's how I get around. But they're like, yeah, no, you just trail your bike here, rip it, have a lot of fun, and then get off and ride in air conditioning back home. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a brilliant idea. I also want to ride on the track more. I'm not a super fast boy at all, but I love the idea of going to the track. I love the idea of bringing my family to the track. That's the lifestyle I want. So I had an XSR 900. I've got an R9T, still this far peeling. It's closing a very obvious chapter in my garage lineage. I'm over the aesthetic stuff. I did it. I went nuts. I bought a bunch of bikes, because I had a bunch of vintage bikes before then, and none of them ran, and I was just working on them all the time, and it was just such a fucking pain in my butt. And then when the Neo Retro stuff came out, it was fucking, I went nuts. I went buck nuts. And God, this neighborhood is so boring. There's no trees. So I did it. I splurged. I loved Deus Ex Machina. I was an aesthetically driven motorcycle rider. I also see nails and screws all over the place, and these are brand new tires, so I'm gonna get the hell out of here. And I'm over it. I'm done. I want a dirt bike, I want a motocross bike, I want a track bike. I want to wrench on a bike. I want to build a bike. Like, time to clear house, get all the stuff out of the garage, and diversify the style of riding. That's kind of been the plan for a while. I was just recently more motivated by committing to the stay-at-home mom economic lifestyle, which means, you know, the bikes aren't getting rented out as much as they used to, because that's how they would pay for themselves and kind of generate some income. They're not doing that as much as anymore because I think there's just a lot more bikes to rent in Austin. At one point I was just like, the bikes were gone almost every day and it was great. Let's talk about the R9T for a second. It's the whole reason you're here. I'm gonna get lost in the sauce because I haven't vlogged in a very long time. I love this bike. I didn't even demo it. I bought it. I was handed the keys. Me and the bike rode home in the rain, and it was beautiful and it was magical. And I've loved every second of it because I was coming from the vintage motorcycle realm. So this bike was spanking every cheek. It had the awesome, oh God, this is all construction zone too. It had the Boxer twin engine, which I do not understand why people do not like this engine. It is easy to work on, cheap to maintain. They're known to go forever. Can somebody please enlighten me why they don't like it? Okay, I don't get it. Sure, if you live on Planet Sport Bike, you can look at this and be like, compare apples to oranges. But I'm not doing that. I understand it for what it is, and it's a great fucking engine. People bitch about how expensive it is to maintain BMWs, and I will gladly tell you this after talking to a BMW mechanic. It's because BMW riders refuse to work on their own bikes. Like the R9T, everything's exposed. It's so easy. It's so easy to adjust the valves, change the spark plugs, do the oil. The battery is kind of a bitch, but I did it by myself. It's never been expensive. This bike has never been expensive. Now it's new and it doesn't have any fairings, but like I do not understand all the bitching. But let's talk about, okay, so that's your assignment, is to tell me why I'm supposed to hate the Boxer engine, or why just like saw Fort 9 like said that it sucks, and obviously the other channel I worked for says that it sucks. I don't get it. But let's talk about what this is. This is a goddamn cruiser bike, right? This is a perfect cruiser. It's comfy. It likes going on long road trips. It's fast. It's got, I think, like 110 horsepower. I don't even know. It's heavy, stays planted. It's torquey. It's a fucking great bike. But the cruiser genre is closing in my life, right? I got kids. I got another one on the way. So what does that mean? That means that like I need to really make sure that I'm utilizing my time. So that doesn't mean like going out for a fucking 6-hour ride in hill country or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool, I've got 2 hours. Let's go rip it up at the dirt bike track, or let's go to Coda for the weekend or whatever. This chapter of my life is currently closing. I will revisit it. I guarantee it. I will be back for the cruiser lifestyle. But I can't take my time sipping coffee, riding in the city, commuting, and going from coffee shop to coffee shop like I used to on this motorcycle. I have taken it off road, right? And it's marketed towards that aesthetically. It's based on the model. I'll put it up on the screen right here. Oh, there's that fucking Jeep. These are some fun back roads. They're not curvy by any means, but yeah, it's time to say goodbye. It's time to go have different kind of fun. You know, I grew up riding leader bikes on the highway, so I didn't, hell yeah. He just bought it too. It's got dealer plates. Also, speaking of dirt bikes, there's like a whole abandoned lot where homeless people live over here, but there's some dirt trails, and I was like, oh, I want to come rip it over here. Wait, can you see it? Like down over there. Hell yeah. Just trash and trails everywhere. That's my kind of riding. I'm dipping more into the ADV realm, and this is done. That Whitney, we're saying goodbye to that Whitney. I even rode Shade Tree's, was it Raspberry Buffet? And the Honda Goldwing was so good at its job. That's the ultimate cruiser. This this I feel like I'm in like a weird age for it. You know what I'm saying? It's time. It's time to say goodbye. It's also time to turn around and go pick up my daughter from school. So goodbye. Goodbye, Cafe Racer Whitney. Goodbye, aesthetics only Whitney. Not to say that I don't think bikes are still sexy, but I'm at a different point now where I'm like, it can look cool and I can appreciate it, but that doesn't mean that I have to own it. And who knows what that means in the future. That's why I refrain from buying an MT10 too, because I'm like, okay, I need to recalibrate who I am. I'm such an impulse motorcycle buyer, and I had a video all planned out about me buying an MT10, but it's just not, I'm still going through it, you know what I'm saying? Still gotta find my soul. You know, this is also like kind of a little nod and a tribute to the Svartpilen 701, because when I go ride, or same with Lucas, when we go ride, that's the bike we're kind of always grabbing. But you know, it does have a tune and a full system, and it sounds great, and it's really flickable and light, and it's just kind of a ripper, and it's less of a Bronco than the XSR 900, and those are the keys I'm always grabbing. And the R9T deserves to be out on the road more than it actually is. So everybody wants to know why I'm selling it. I'm like, it's just sitting here being pretty, being a sexy little bitch, and it deserves a more tender lover. Somebody's gonna give it more TLC. But I've loved my time with it, and like, I'm kind of reminiscing about, I went to the dealership, I was over the Ducati Scrambler, I was gonna go trade it in for something else. And do you guys want to know what I was going to go trade it in for? It was another XSR 900. I just wanted the red one, so we're going to have a red one and a silver one. But I was like, oh, it really doesn't make sense to have two of the same bike. But I was always jealous that that's what Lucas was riding when we would go ride together. And the salesman was great. He just talked me into this. And I just never saw myself as a BMW owner, because I thought that was for like rich old white guys. But I got a good deal on it, and I've had a beautiful, beautiful relationship with it. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm sad to see it go. But it's one of those things where I'm like, I know you're just gonna be happier with somebody else. It's still an eye-catching bike. It still turns a lot of heads. I've also wish more ladies were into R9Ts. I think they're scared of the engine size and the weight. Ladies, I would love to have a fleet of like beat up bikes that are sexy like this, but I'm like, I don't care if you drop it. Let's just get more confident. Let's leave the Suzuki TU 250s for the real babies. All right, guys, you're witnessing a chapter closing. I'm excited for the future. This has been fun. R9T, you've been good to me. You've been easy to maintain. You've been absolutely reliable. Nothing has ever gone wrong with this bike. Shit went wrong with the XSR, and a lot of shit has gone wrong with the Svartpilen. Guess what? Nothing has ever gone wrong with this bike. Ever. In the five-ish years I've owned it. Well, actually, no, has it been longer than that? It's almost 6 years. And if I could keep it and I had $1 million to just buy all the bikes that I wanted, I would. But that's a fantasy realm. And we live in the cold, harsh reality. All right, guys. Let me know down in the comments what y'all think of not only the Boxer twin engine, but the R9T. Just in time. All right, babies. See you later.